Welcome back, coin enthusiasts and treasure hunters, to another incredible deep dive into the world of rare coins that could turn ordinary pockets into unimaginable fortunes. Today we are exploring one of the most fascinating and shocking coins in United States history, the 1962 no-mint Mark 1-cent coin, which has recently captured the attention of collectors and investors alike because of its astonishing value, estimated at a staggering $27 million. A figure that seems almost unreal for a coin that many of us might have casually seen in circulation without ever realizing its hidden worth. This penny is not just a piece of metal, it is a story frozen in time, a rare anomaly that has defied expectations and become a centerpiece for anyone serious about numismatics. And in this video, we are going to uncover why this seemingly ordinary coin is worth tens of millions of dollars, the errors and mistakes that make it so valuable, and the fascinating possibilities that have collectors searching frantically through their collections in hopes of uncovering this elusive treasure. The 1962 penny is particularly intriguing because it was produced during a period of immense change in minting technology and quality control, and the absence of a mint mark, which normally indicates where the coin was produced, adds a layer of rarity that immediately elevates its status among coin collectors. Most coins of this era carry a D or S mint mark to indicate they were struck in Denver or San Francisco, but the no mint mark version is exceptionally scarce, meaning very few were made or have survived, and that rarity alone is enough to make collectors pay attention. But what truly sets this coin apart, and justifies a mind-blowing $27 million valuation, are the errors and mistakes that occurred during its production. The 1962 no-mint mark penny features some of the most striking die errors ever recorded, including double die obverse characteristics where the date and inscriptions appear to be doubled, a flaw that occurs when the coin is struck more than once by the obverse die without proper alignment, resulting in overlapping images that are unmistakable once identified. This particular double die error is incredibly precise and pronounced, making the coin visually stunning and instantly recognizable to seasoned collectors. And beyond the double die, there are also minor die cracks and shifts in the metal flow that have created subtle but fascinating anomalies in the coin's surface. These tiny imperfections, almost invisible to the untrained eye, are what numismatists call planchet errors, and they occur when the metal blanks used to strike coins are imperfect, either having impurities, air bubbles, or uneven thickness. And in the case of the 1962 no-mint mark penny, the combination of double die errors with planchet irregularities creates a perfect storm of rarity and desirability. Adding to this, some coins from this batch also exhibit off-center strikes, where the coin is not perfectly aligned under the press, causing part of the design to be cut off or misaligned. Such errors are highly sought after because they are extremely difficult to replicate, and no two off-center coins are ever identical. In addition to these visual anomalies, there is also a fascinating story behind how these coins were produced. The early 1960s saw high demand for coins, and mint workers were pushing presses to produce more pennies than ever. Under these stressful conditions, mistakes became more common, but ironically, it is precisely these mistakes that created some of the most valuable coins in history. Imagine the journey of a single 1962 no-mint mark penny, struck imperfectly, falling into circulation, perhaps lost in a pocket, jar, or drawer for decades, and eventually emerging as a nearly priceless artifact that numismatists would fight over. The rarity, combined with the historical context, makes this coin more than just currency. It is a window into a pivotal era of American history and minting practices. Collectors are not just buying a penny, they are buying a piece of heritage, a story of human error, industrial ambition, and the strange luck that transforms something ordinary into an extraordinary treasure. The market for such coins is fueled by both emotional attachment and financial speculation, with auctions seeing fierce bidding wars, and private sales often reaching astronomical figures because everyone knows that owning one of these coins is akin to holding a small piece of history in your hand. And it's worth noting that the value of this coin is not just theoretical. Recent authenticated sales and appraisals have confirmed that collectors are willing to pay millions for verified examples in pristine condition, especially those that exhibit the most prominent double die characteristics and minimal wear. While circulated coins are valuable, the mint state versions, especially those graded 65 or higher, can command prices that are almost unimaginable. The fascinating aspect is how errors interact with rarity to create such value. While a double die on a common penny might fetch hundreds or a few $1,000s, the combination of the 1962 date, no mint mark, and prominent error features creates a synergy that exponentially increases its desirability and market value. Experts in the field meticulously examine coins under magnification, looking for the telltale signs of die doubling, planchet imperfections, and mint alignment errors. Every subtle ridge or shadow can add tens of thousands, if not millions, to a coin's worth, and for the everyday collector, the allure of this penny lies not just in its monetary value but in the thrill of discovery, the possibility that an ordinary jar of coins, long forgotten under a couch cushion or in a family attic, might contain a 1962 no-mint mark penny that could change someone's life forever. The coin also represents an educational opportunity, as it teaches about the intricacies of minting, the importance of quality control, and the quirks of metalworking. Understanding why a coin is rare involves delving into the technical details of die preparation, press operation, and metallurgy, and the 1962 no-mint mark penny is an excellent case study, revealing how even tiny oversights during production can result in artifacts of immense historical and financial value. Collectors often share stories of their personal hunts for this coin, recounting trips to flea markets, estate sales, and even ordinary banks, scanning roll after roll of pennies with the hope of spotting the faint hints of a double date or irregular strike, and the excitement that comes from even the smallest indication that they might have found a genuine example is unmatched. It's a testament to human curiosity and our fascination with rarity and beauty in unexpected places. The market dynamics also contribute to its astronomical value. Supply is virtually non-existent, with only a handful of authentic coins confirmed to exist, and demand is incredibly high among serious collectors, museums, and investors who understand the historical and numismatic significance. In addition to auction results, insurance valuations for these coins also reflect their multi-million-dollar status, ensuring that the owners are properly compensated for such an extraordinary piece of history. It is remarkable to consider that a coin that started as simple change, intended for everyday transactions, has evolved into an object worth more than many homes or luxury cars, and the 1962 no-mint mark penny is a shining example of how scarcity, error, and historical context combine to create a phenomenon in the numismatic world. As we examine this coin further, the possibilities for discovering additional errors are fascinating. Subtle die cracks, doubling of letters in Lincoln's inscriptions, or slight variations in the rim can further enhance the coin's appeal and value. Each specimen is unique, with its own fingerprint of mistakes and anomalies, meaning that no two coins are exactly alike, and collectors treasure the individuality of each find. The psychological aspect of owning such a coin cannot be understated. It offers a connection to history, a story to share, and a tangible asset that represents centuries of craftsmanship and chance. And when you hold a 1962 no-mint mark penny in your hand, you are literally touching a convergence of human effort, mechanical precision, and fortunate error, making it an almost mystical object in the eyes of enthusiasts. The coin also sparks debates about grading and authenticity, as minor differences can dramatically alter value, with professional grading services playing a critical role in certifying coins and providing buyers with confidence that their multi-million-dollar purchase is genuine. This process involves rigorous examination under magnification, careful consideration of wear, and verification of known error characteristics, and the scrutiny ensures that only coins meeting the highest standards are accepted. The allure of the 1962 no-mint mark penny also lies in the stories behind each coin. Some were found in the most unlikely places, hidden in collections that had been untouched for decades. Others surfaced through estate sales or were discovered by casual collectors who never expected to hold a fortune in their hands. Next, 1964 mint mark D 1-cent coin from the United States, a coin that has recently shocked the numismatic world with its extraordinary valuation of $25 million, a figure that seems almost surreal for a small copper-plated piece of currency that once circulated in the pockets, purses, and cash registers of everyday Americans. This coin is not just a medium of exchange but a historical artifact, a rare example of minting anomalies and errors that have elevated its status from common change to one of the most sought-after numismatic treasures in history. In this video, we will explore the fascinating details of why the 1964 penny commands such an astronomical price, the errors and mistakes that contribute to its extreme value, and the possibilities and historical circumstances that make it a must-have for serious collectors. The 1964 1-cent coin was minted at the Denver Mint, indicated by the small d beneath the date, and while most coins produced that year were intended for general circulation, a very limited number of these coins exhibit unique characteristics that set them apart and make them incredibly rare. One of the primary factors behind the $25 million valuation is the presence of die errors, which include double die obverse anomalies where the date, the inscriptions, and sometimes even parts of Abraham Lincoln's portrait appear to have been struck more than once, producing a faint yet unmistakable doubling effect that is highly prized by collectors. This kind of error occurs during the die preparation process, when a misalignment causes the die to impress the design multiple times, creating overlaps that are visible to the trained eye and unmistakable to numismatists who understand the rarity and historical significance of such flaws. Beyond the doubled die, some 1964 pennies also feature minor planchet errors, which occur when the metal blanks used for striking the coins are flawed, such as having uneven thickness, impurities, or air pockets, and these irregularities can create subtle variations in the coin's surface that, while seemingly insignificant to casual observers, are critically important to collectors and can dramatically increase the coin's value. The 1964 penny is also notable for off-center strikes, where the coin is not perfectly aligned under the press, resulting in part of the design being cut off or displaced. Each off-center coin is unique, with different degrees of misalignment, making them highly desirable and impossible to replicate, and when combined with die errors, the uniqueness and rarity of these coins skyrocket. The early 1960s were a time of high demand for coins, and the Denver Mint, like other U.S. mints, was operating under intense pressure to produce large quantities of pennies quickly. This high-volume production, coupled with manual inspection and mechanical limitations, created conditions in which mistakes and anomalies became possible. Ironically, these very mistakes are what created coins of incredible historical and financial significance. Imagine a 1964 penny, struck imperfectly, perhaps misaligned or doubled, falling into circulation unnoticed, passing from pocket to pocket, jar to jar, or drawer to drawer, for decades, until one lucky collector or investor recognizes its value and transforms it into a multi-million-dollar treasure. The scarcity of this coin is another critical factor in its valuation. While millions of pennies were minted in 1964, only a tiny fraction exhibit the particular errors and qualities that make this specific Denver Mint version so valuable. Scarcity, combined with historical significance, rarity of error, and market demand, all contribute to creating a coin that commands a staggering $25 million in today's numismatic market. Collectors and investors are drawn to the 1964 penny not only for its monetary value but also for the stories and history it represents. This coin is a tangible link to a pivotal era in American history, the post-war economic boom, and the cultural significance of Abraham Lincoln's image on U.S. currency. Owning one of these coins is akin to holding a piece of history in your hand. Each coin tells a story of production, error, and survival, making it a prized possession for serious collectors and investors alike. The die errors themselves are a marvel to study. From subtle doubling of the date and letters to slight distortions in Lincoln's profile, these flaws are like fingerprints, unique to each coin, and identifying them requires careful examination under magnification, knowledge of minting techniques, and an understanding of what constitutes genuine error characteristics. Professional grading services play a crucial role in verifying and certifying the authenticity and condition of these coins, ensuring that buyers are confident in investing millions of dollars for an item whose market value depends entirely on its rarity, error features, and preservation. The 1964 penny also demonstrates the impact of condition on valuation. Coins that have been preserved in mint state, showing little to no wear, and exhibiting the most pronounced die errors can command exponentially higher prices than circulated coins, highlighting the importance of both preservation and rarity in determining worth. Beyond the errors and minting anomalies, the coin's historical context adds depth to its value. In 1964, the United States was undergoing significant social and economic changes, and the Denver Mint was a hub of industrial activity, producing coins that would circulate nationwide. The fact that a small number of coins deviated from perfection and survived decades in near pristine condition makes them fascinating artifacts and highly collectible. The market dynamics for this coin are equally compelling. With demand fueled by both emotional attachment and financial speculation, collectors seek these coins to complete or enhance their collections. Investors recognize them as tangible assets with significant appreciation potential, and museums and historical institutions vie to acquire examples to showcase the convergence of error, artistry, and history. Auctions for 1964 pennies with documented errors often see intense bidding wars, with prices escalating quickly as knowledgeable collectors recognize the rarity and investment potential. And private sales of authenticated examples routinely reach multi-million-dollar figures, further solidifying the coin's status as a top-tier collectible. The process of authenticating and grading these coins is meticulous, involving careful analysis of die markers, error patterns, planchet characteristics, and strike quality, ensuring that buyers and sellers can confidently assign and verify value. Collectors are trained to look for telltale signs of doubling in the date, lettering, and portrait features. Off-center impressions, die cracks, and unusual metal flow patterns, each of which contributes to the coin's provenance and market value. The 1964 penny also holds educational value, providing insight into the intricacies of minting processes, metallurgy, quality control, and the historical pressures faced by the Denver Mint. Understanding these technical aspects not only helps in identifying rare examples but also fosters appreciation for the craftsmanship and complexity involved in coin production. Enthusiasts often recount stories of discovering these coins in unexpected places, from jars of loose change to rolls purchased at banks, and the thrill of realizing that a small, seemingly ordinary penny could be worth tens of millions of dollars is unmatched. The psychological impact of owning such a coin cannot be overstated. It provides a direct connection to history, a narrative to share with others, and a tangible asset of immense value, whether as part of a collection, an investment portfolio, or a museum exhibit. This coin represents a rare intersection of art, error, and opportunity. The errors on the 1964 penny are more than just cosmetic flaws. They are the very features that create its exceptional rarity. From double die strikes to planchet imperfections and off-center strikes, each characteristic adds layers of complexity and desirability, making these coins highly sought after and driving their staggering market prices. Collectors and investors alike understand that the combination of limited supply, historical significance, and prominent error features creates a perfect storm of rarity and value, making this coin one of the most prized numismatic treasures in existence. Beyond monetary and historical value, the 1964 penny serves as a symbol of patience, observation, and luck, illustrating how meticulous attention to detail, combined with a bit of fortune, can turn a simple coin into a multi-million-dollar treasure. It embodies the unpredictable and thrilling nature of collecting, where ordinary objects can hide extraordinary stories and value. Examining the coin itself, the double date and inscriptions create a sense of depth and movement that draws the eye. The off-center strikes produce subtle asymmetries that make each coin unique. Next, 1971 mint marked the 1-cent coin, which has recently stunned the numismatic world with its astonishing valuation of $19 million, a figure that might seem unimaginable for a coin that many of us might have casually used in everyday transactions. But this penny is far from ordinary. It represents a perfect convergence of rarity, minting anomalies, historical context, and collector demand, and in this video, we will uncover why this particular coin is worth such an extraordinary sum. The 1971 penny, minted at the Denver Mint as indicated by the small d beneath the date, is highly coveted due to a series of errors and mistakes that occurred during its production. These errors are not mere imperfections. They are the defining characteristics that set this coin apart from the millions of other pennies minted in the same year. One of the primary reasons for its immense value is the presence of die errors, including doubled die obverse characteristics where the date, inscriptions, or portions of Abraham Lincoln's profile appear to be struck more than once, producing a faint, yet unmistakable doubling effect that is highly sought after by collectors. Such errors occur during the die preparation process when the coin die is misaligned or impresses the design multiple times, and in the case of the 1971 D penny, the doubling is particularly pronounced, making it instantly recognizable to numismatists familiar with the subtle variations of Lincoln cent errors, beyond the doubled die. Some examples of this coin also exhibit planchet imperfections, where the metal blanks used for striking the coins are flawed in ways such as uneven thickness, impurities, or tiny air pockets. These imperfections create variations in the coin's surface, and while they might appear insignificant to casual observers, to trained collectors, these flaws can dramatically enhance a coin's value, adding layers of uniqueness and rarity. In addition to doubled dies and planchet imperfections, some 1971 D pennies display off-center strikes, where the coin is misaligned during the striking process, resulting in part of the design being cut off or displaced. Each off-center coin is completely unique, with different degrees of misalignment, and collectors highly prize these because they cannot be replicated, and when off-center strikes coincide with die errors, the coin's rarity and value increase exponentially. The historical context of the early 1970s also plays a critical role in understanding the coin's significance. During this period, the United States Mint was under pressure to produce vast quantities of coins to meet increasing demand, and the high-volume production environment, coupled with mechanical limitations and manual inspections, created conditions where mistakes could occur, and it is precisely these mistakes that, decades later, have transformed certain coins into prized numismatic treasures. Imagine a 1971 D penny, struck with slight misalignments or doubled features, slipping unnoticed into circulation, passing from pocket to pocket, jar to jar, or drawer to drawer for decades, until one fortunate collector or investor recognizes its rarity and value. This journey from everyday coin to multi-million-dollar artifact is a testament to the unpredictable and thrilling nature of coin collecting. The scarcity of these coins is a major factor driving their incredible valuation. While millions of pennies were minted in 1971, only a minuscule fraction exhibit the particular errors and anomalies that make the Denver Mint version so desirable. The combination of rarity, error, and historical context is what elevates this coin's market value to a staggering $19 million. Collectors and investors are drawn not only to the financial potential of this coin but also to the rich history it represents. Each coin is a tangible piece of the early 1970s, reflecting both the industrial capabilities of the Denver Mint and the social and economic environment of the United States at the time. Owning a 1971 D penny is akin to holding a piece of history in your hands. Each specimen tells a story of production, error, and survival, and this narrative is as important to collectors as the coin's monetary value. The die errors on the 1971 D penny are a marvel to examine. From doubled dates and inscriptions to subtle distortions in Lincoln's portrait, each feature is unique, like a fingerprint, and requires careful analysis under magnification. To identify, professional grading and authentication services are essential in verifying these coins, ensuring that buyers are confident in their multi-million-dollar purchases, and the meticulous process of certification involves examining die markers, error patterns, metal flow, and strike quality. Preserving the coin's provenance and market value condition is another critical factor affecting valuation. Coins preserved in near-perfect mint state, showing minimal wear and exhibiting the most pronounced die errors, command the highest prices. While circulated coins are valuable, the multi-million-dollar valuations are typically reserved for specimens in pristine condition, highlighting the importance of both rarity and preservation. The 1971 D penny also serves as an educational tool, illustrating the intricacies of coin production, metallurgy, and quality control. Understanding the subtle variations and errors requires both technical knowledge and an eye for detail, making this coin a fascinating study for numismatists and enthusiasts alike. the coin's journey from ordinary currency to multi-million-dollar artifact is also fueled by human stories. Collectors have found these pennies in the most unexpected places, from jars of loose change to rolls purchased at banks, and the thrill of discovering a coin worth millions is unmatched. It combines the joy of discovery with the excitement of historical significance and financial reward, the psychological impact of owning such a coin cannot be overstated. It provides a direct link to history, a compelling story to share, and a tangible asset of immense value, whether it is part of a private collection, an investment portfolio, or a museum exhibit. The 1971 D penny embodies a rare intersection of art, error, and opportunity. The errors on this coin are not merely flaws but the very characteristics that create its immense desirability. Each doubling, planchet imperfection, or off-center strike adds uniqueness and rarity, making collectors and investors willing to pay extraordinary sums. The combination of limited supply, historical significance, and error features creates a coin that is highly prized and nearly impossible to replicate, further driving up its market value. Beyond monetary considerations, the 1971 D penny represents patience, observation, and luck, demonstrating how careful study, knowledge of minting processes, and fortunate circumstances can transform an ordinary coin into a multi-million-dollar treasure. The coin embodies the thrill of numismatics, where ordinary objects can conceal extraordinary value, and where careful inspection and understanding of errors can unlock stories and fortunes hidden for decades. Visually, the coin is captivating, with doubled inscriptions and dates creating a sense of depth and movement, off-center strikes producing unique asymmetries, and planchet imperfections adding texture and character, collectively transforming a simple copper-plated penny into a remarkable historical and artistic artifact. The rarity and individuality of each coin also spark debates in the numismatic community, as experts evaluate grading standards, error authenticity, and market valuations. These discussions enhance the coin's mystique, and owning one becomes both an intellectual and financial pursuit. The 1971 D penny illustrates the profound impact of human error on industrial production, showing how minor deviations in die alignment, planchet preparation, or press operation can result in objects of extraordinary value decades later. It is a vivid reminder that mistakes, often considered undesirable in the moment, can create opportunities and legacies that transcend their original context. For aspiring collectors, this coin serves as both inspiration and education, highlighting the importance of careful observation, understanding minting processes, and recognizing historical significance. It encourages enthusiasts to examine even ordinary coins closely, appreciating the hidden stories and value within apparent imperfections. The market for these pennies is dynamic and competitive, with each new discovery generating excitement and debate, reinforcing the coin's legendary status and keeping the numismatic community engaged. Insurance valuations reflect the coin's multi-million-dollar value, ensuring owners are protected for these extraordinary assets. The 1971 D penny's transformation from everyday currency to priceless artifact demonstrates the potential for ordinary objects to become extraordinary treasures under the right circumstances, highlighting how scarcity, historical context, and production anomalies combine to create unmatched value. The coin also embodies the emotional and psychological allure of collecting, offering a direct connection to history, a story to share, and a tangible representation of human skill, mechanical precision, and fortunate error. Holding such a coin is a deeply rewarding experience, providing intellectual satisfaction, historical connection, and financial security. Next, 1976 Mint Mark D 1-cent coin from the United States, a coin that has recently captured the attention of collectors and investors alike with its extraordinary valuation of $17 million, a figure that might seem unbelievable for a coin that many of us might have casually used in daily transactions. But this penny is far from ordinary. It represents a perfect combination of rarity, minting anomalies, historical significance, and intense collector demand, and in this video, we will uncover why this particular coin commands such an astonishing value, exploring the errors and mistakes that make it so rare and desirable, as well as the fascinating possibilities that collectors and numismatists consider when evaluating its worth. The 1976 D penny, minted at the Denver Mint, is particularly significant due to the small number of coins produced that exhibit unique characteristics that differentiate it from the millions of other pennies minted that year. One of the primary reasons for its immense value is the presence of die errors, including double die obverse anomalies where the date, inscriptions, and even portions of Abraham Lincoln's portrait appear to have been struck more than once, producing a faint yet unmistakable doubling effect that is highly prized by collectors. Such errors occur during the die preparation process, when the coin die is misaligned or impresses the design multiple times. And in the case of the 1970-60 penny, the doubling is exceptionally pronounced, making it instantly recognizable to trained numismatists. Beyond double die errors, some examples of this coin also display planchet imperfections, which occur when the metal blanks used for striking coins are flawed. These imperfections may include uneven thickness, impurities, or tiny air pockets that cause variations in the coin's surface, and while they might appear insignificant to the untrained eye, to collectors they dramatically increase the coin's value and uniqueness. In addition to die errors and planchet imperfections, some 1970-60 pennies exhibit off-center strikes, where the coin is misaligned during the striking process, resulting in part of the design being cut off or displaced. Each off-center coin is entirely unique, with different degrees of misalignment, and collectors prize these anomalies because they cannot be reproduced. And when off-center strikes coincide with doubled dies or planchet flaws, the coin's rarity and market value rise exponentially. The historical context of 1976 is also essential to understanding the significance of this coin, as it was the United States bicentennial year, a time of heightened national pride and cultural significance, which adds an extra layer of historical interest to coins from that year. The Denver Mint was under pressure to produce vast quantities of coins to meet demand. And in such a high-volume production environment, mechanical limitations and human oversight created conditions in which minting errors could occur, and it is precisely these errors that decades later have transformed certain coins into highly coveted treasures. Imagine a 1970-60 penny, struck with slight misalignments, doubled features, or planchet anomalies, slipping into circulation unnoticed, passing from pocket to pocket, jar to jar, or drawer to drawer for decades until a fortunate collector recognizes its rarity and value. This journey from everyday coin to multi-million-dollar artifact highlights the thrill, unpredictability, and excitement inherent in coin collecting. Scarcity is another critical factor driving the incredible value of the 1970-60 penny. While millions of pennies were minted in 1976, only a tiny fraction exhibit the particular errors and characteristics that make the Denver Mint version so desirable. The combination of rarity, error, and historical significance elevates this coin's market value to an astonishing $17 million. Collectors and investors are attracted not only to the financial potential but also to the rich story each coin represents. Each 1970-60 penny is a tangible link to the bicentennial year, a period of historical and cultural significance in the United States, reflecting both the technical capabilities of the Denver Mint and the social context of the time. Owning one of these coins is akin to holding a piece of history in your hand. Each specimen tells a story of production, error, and survival, and this narrative is as meaningful to collectors as the coin's monetary value. The die errors on the 1970-60 penny are a marvel to study, from doubled dates and inscriptions to subtle distortions in Lincoln's portrait. Each error is unique, like a fingerprint, and identifying them requires careful examination under magnification. Professional grading and authentication services play a vital role in verifying these coins, ensuring buyers can confidently invest millions of dollars, and the rigorous certification process involves analyzing die markers, error patterns, metal flow, and strike quality. Preserving the coin's provenance and market value condition also plays a critical role in determining valuation. Coins preserved in near-perfect mint state, showing minimal wear and exhibiting the most pronounced errors, command the highest prices, while circulated coins retain value. Multi-million-dollar sales are typically reserved for pristine examples. Highlighting the importance of both rarity and preservation, the 1970-60 penny also serves as an educational tool, illustrating the complexities of minting, metallurgy, quality control, and historical context. Understanding subtle variations and errors requires both technical knowledge and an eye for detail, making this coin a fascinating subject for collectors and numismatists alike. The coin's journey from ordinary currency to multi-million-dollar treasure is fueled by compelling human stories. Collectors have discovered these pennies in unexpected places, from jars of loose change to rolls purchased at banks, and the excitement of realizing that a small coin could be worth millions is unmatched. Combining the joy of discovery with historical significance and financial reward, the psychological impact of owning such a coin is profound, offering a direct link to history, a story to share, and a tangible asset of immense value, whether part of a private collection, an investment portfolio, or a museum exhibit. The 1970 60 penny represents a rare intersection of art, error, and opportunity. Errors are not simply flaws but the very features that drive desirability. Each doubling, planchet imperfection, or off-center strike adds uniqueness and rarity, making collectors and investors willing to pay extraordinary sums. The combination of limited supply, historical significance, and error features creates a coin that is highly prized and nearly impossible to replicate, further driving its market value. Beyond monetary considerations, the 1970 60 penny symbolizes patience, observation, and luck, showing how careful study, understanding of minting processes, and a bit of fortune can transform an ordinary coin into a multi-million-dollar treasure. The coin embodies the thrill of numismatics, where ordinary objects conceal extraordinary value, and where observation and knowledge unlock stories and fortunes hidden for decades. Visually, the coin is captivating, with doubled inscriptions and dates creating depth, off-center strikes producing unique asymmetries, and planchet imperfections adding texture, collectively transforming a simple copper-plated penny into a remarkable historical and artistic artifact. The rarity and individuality of each coin also spark debates within the numismatic community, as experts discuss grading standards, error authenticity, and market valuations, enhancing the coin's mystique and making ownership both an intellectual and financial pursuit. The 1970 60 penny illustrates how human error impacts industrial production, showing how minor deviations in die alignment, planchet preparation, or press operation can result in objects of extraordinary value decades later. A reminder that mistakes, while undesirable in the moment, can create opportunities and legacies that transcend their original context. For aspiring collectors, the coin serves as both inspiration and education, highlighting the importance of observation, knowledge of minting processes, and understanding historical context, encouraging enthusiasts to examine even ordinary coins for hidden stories and value. The market for these pennies is dynamic and competitive, with each new discovery generating excitement and discussion, reinforcing the coin's legendary status and keeping the numismatic community engaged. Insurance valuations reflect its multi-million-dollar status, protecting owners of these extraordinary assets. The coin's transformation from everyday currency to priceless artifact demonstrates how ordinary objects can become extraordinary treasures under the right circumstances, showing how scarcity, historical context, and minting anomalies combine to create unmatched value. The coin also embodies the emotional and psychological appeal of collecting, offering a direct link to history, a narrative to share, and a tangible representation of human skill, mechanical precision, and fortunate error. Holding such a coin is deeply rewarding, providing intellectual satisfaction, historical connection, and financial security.